Welcome back to Grim 3D for take 2 of filament storage and silica gel handling. Stay tuned. So I've been thinking about reshooting this video for a while now because my filament storage solution has changed quite a bit since my original filament storage video, which you can see. I'll put the link down in the comments, or you can just fish through my channel to find that. But I ran into a snag where I couldn't really store as much filament as I needed. Originally, when I started 3D printing, I really didn't think I was going to need that much filament. But it turned out I'm using quite a bit more than I had ever anticipated. So I have, mostly I run PETG and I run PLA, of course. Oh, and the rattling in the background, I have some embedded magnets in that, those parts right there on the Maker Select. And they're a little bit loose, so as the bed moves around, the magnets rattle. There's really nothing wrong with my printer. We'll just have to put up with that noise a little bit. It comes and goes, but that's fine. My original filament storage method used a sort of a heavy-duty Pelican case like this one, where I could store pretty much 4 rows of filament at a time per case, and I could get some smaller containers of silica gel in there. I could make it pretty much airtight, and I thought that was doing really good. And it most definitely was a good way to store the filament, but I just couldn't get enough filament stored in my limited makerspace to have enough colors and enough different types. I mostly run PETG and PLA, so I've got a lot of the same colors in different plastics, and things have been working out great, but I had to upgrade my filament storage solution at least a little bit. So I have moved on, and you probably wonder why I'm sitting here with a crock pot. I'll show you in just a second. So this is my new filament storage solution here. This is a Ziploc box that I got probably just from Walmart. They also sell these at like Home Depot, those kinds of places. But this Ziploc box has an actual seal in the lid, and it has latches that hold the lid on the box. And in this box, this is a box of PLA. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rolls of filament. Also in the box, I have a container, a large container of silica gel beads. In this print, I'll put the file for this print in the comments down below, but in there is a pack of silica gel. Okay, and this system seems to work really well. I have four of these boxes. They're not actually entirely full, so I'm running about 30-35 rolls of filament in my makerspace right now. And these boxes have been fantastic. They stack nice and tight. They've got an edge on the lid here. Let me show you this edge. They've got an edge on the lid here that actually the upper box will seat into the lower box. They really kind of work fantastically for what I'm trying to do, and they make it so that I can hold in the same amount of space quite a few more rolls of filament, which is optimal, and it keeps the boxes and the filament inside can stay very, very dry. In fact, this box, before I opened it, but this box right now is at about 8% humidity. Okay, so I actually know that because I have a home automation system. I have stashed inside this box a temperature and humidity sensor that feeds information to my home automation system on both the temperature and the humidity of this box. So right now, and you can see down here, I'll put the little tile down here where it shows me what the temperature and the humidity is. So this box is about 8% humidity, and if you look down there now, my house, the floor that I'm on in my house, is at about 30% humidity. So we just had a little bit of rain. I do kind of live in the desert, so our normal humidity is 20 to 25%, but right now we're 30. We're coming down from 40, 45% when it was raining yesterday. So The humidity in this box is considerably lower than the ambient humidity at my house right now. So the silica gel I have ordered in pretty large quantities, but I don't think I've been getting the best deal on the silica gel. I just got a comment yesterday or the day before from a user, Palm Coast Adventures. Now, I don't know that they have any content on their channel, but you should go check them out anyways, maybe send them a message. The Palm Coast Adventures comment said, first of all, that, just let me get rid of this. The comment I got from Palm Coast Adventures told me basically two things that were actually really good information. First thing is that the cheapest way to buy silica is actually in the pet section at a Walmart. The silica beads that they use for cat litter is actually 100% silica. It has blue indicator beads in it, and it's rechargeable just like any other silica. Not that you'd want to recharge it if you're using it for cats, but if you're using it for filament, recharging is just fine. Another thing that the Palm Coast Adventures user commented on was the fact that instead of using the large oven at his house, which is pulling a whole ton of electricity, he was having good luck recharging the silica in an old crock pot. Now, a lot of these slow cooker crock pots, you can pick these up at, like a secondhand store for practically free. And they still seem to work. They're pretty much bulletproof. This crock pot right now has been on for a while. They don't use a whole lot of electricity. In fact, I had it on for about an hour to get it nice and hot. And I believe in an hour it used probably 0.1 kilowatt hours. I do have a kilowatt on it right now. I'm trying to mark, and after I get the second half of this video, I'll show you like how much energy it took to heat this up and to put the silica gel in it and to actually get it completely recharged right here in the crock pot, which means also that I don't have to take the silica gel anywhere else. I can just do all of this right here in my makerspace in my office. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to this. I have a pretty good sized bag of silica beads right here that are pretty much all used up. I've got my crock pot, has been running for a while to get it nice and heated. So I've got my thermometer here, and you will see that my crock pot right now is it's about can you see that? About 215. Let's take another reading maybe. Maybe I can get it closer. So there you have it. The silica beads are supposed to be recharged at 250, which I don't think 10 degrees either way is going to make that big a difference. So I've got my ceiling fan is going, so I get a little bit of air movement in the room. I don't want them to just sit in there and not have any air moving across them, but we are going to try this out thanks to Palm Coast Adventures and this comment. I'm pretty excited to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to put in all of these silica beads, the whole pile, and see what I can see. All right. So in there I've got a stack of silica beads. It's about an inch and a half thick, and they're in the heat right now. We're going to see where it goes. I will see you back in about 3 hours. So here's inside the crock pot, and I can tell that it's changing because I've got the indicator beads are turning blue again, which is fine. I do have some yellowish ones in here. I don't know where those came from, but I think it was just some beads that I bought that weren't really super high quality. But I can actually feel when I put my fingers in there. Yeah, it's warm. I wouldn't want to push my fingers all the way to the bottom, but I can actually feel the moisture on my fingers even after I pull them out of the silica beads. I can feel that moisture on there. So I'm pretty sure these are not ready, even though the indicator beads have started to turn back to blue. I'm not exactly sure how long this is going to take, but as long as I'm feeling decent amounts of moisture coming out of there, I'm not going to worry about it. So it's been about another hour, hour and a half, and I'm thinking that these silica beads are pretty much done. Let's take a look inside one more time with the camera, and then we'll wrap this baby up. So here's the silica beads again. They're still warm. I'm not feeling a whole lot of moisture coming off of anymore. They are have turned fairly blue. The indicator beads are fairly blue at this point. Some bordering on purple, like that one. The system worked pretty well overall. It took about 3 hours, so about the same amount of time it would have taken in the oven. And total, I burnt 0.7 kilowatt hours. I actually looked it up, and kilowatt hour in my area is about 10.3 cents. So I kind of lied before. It's about 10 cents. So 0.7 kilowatts, I burned 7 cents recharging the silica. So yeah, the silica is looking pretty good. I've got the crock pots all turned off. Took about 3 hours. Cost me about 7 cents to recharge that silica. I am going to let this sit for about 15 minutes so that it can cool down, and then I'm just put it back in the plastic bag that I had it in. So a question that you might be asking is, how do I know when the silica in the boxes is all used up? Well, part of having my home automation system is the fact that I can set alerts for things like humidity too high. So I actually have an alert set for when my humidity in one of those boxes gets above 23%, it sends an alert to my phone and tells me it's time to recharge the silica. Now I actually have enough silica that I don't actually recharge it a little bit at a time. I rotate it into the boxes and then back out into a container. I can recharge silica in mass, bunch at a time. That works really great for me. So this is going to go back in the bag. When my boxes get a little too humid inside, I will then rotate this dry silica back into my filament boxes in those silicone containers. And I've noticed that within about 12 hours, it has the humidity inside the box back down below 10%. My normal humidity rating in those boxes is around 10%. So I keep a pretty close eye on it. I keep filament in there if I can. I do have a bunch on my, you can see on my shelf up here, I have a bunch that sits, that's part of projects that I'm working on right now. So it will eventually go back in the box and some other stuff will come out. So that's about it for this episode of Grim 3D. Subscribe if you'd like. Leave me a comment if you've got any questions about this or anything to add to what I've done here, or if this helped you at all. Smash that like button. Give it a thumbs up. We'll see you out there.